wasn't, nobody really recommended them, it was just something that I picked out
Okay.
online. Excuse me. He was a very snappy dresser, I can tell you that. He always had a immaculate custom suit on. Very dapper looking.
Yeah, I guess it pays to be a doctor at the Mayo Clinic.
If nothing else, you should have asked him who his tailor was.
No, probably someone in New York City. I guess there was recently a PBS documentary about Mayo Clinic and the Mayo brothers who started it. And it was supposed to be a really good documentary.
I mean, every appointment that I was scheduled for, they were pretty much right on time. And
Yeah, I mean,
but I would definitely, I don't know if my outcome was what I was looking for, or maybe that's.
here.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
where do them come from, Cody? It seems like when I be wearing I wear Jordans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since I've been wearing them Jordans, just happened to me.
Right, so what that tells me is, I mean, you have this bump on your foot, and it's hitting up against the top of the shoe. And so when it rubs against the top of the shoe, the skin will get thick. And so it just means that the shoe doesn't sit high enough,
Mm-hmm.
and that might not be the right shoe for you.
Oh, okay. Because it wasn't there like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, they
You
wasn't
didn't have
like
them?
that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's because you do so much walking and because the shoe isn't deep enough there, so that bump is just rubbing on it. Or addicted, the ones that I see, although I know that they do come in, but, and many of them are actually, they have jobs,
Oh.
yet they don't make enough
Mhm.
to afford a place to live. And so they come from work and sleep at the homeless shelter.
Mhm. Oh, boy.
It breaks your heart.
That's really sad, yeah. Yeah.
But thank goodness we have it,
Are they guaranteed every night, or do they have
No.
to come back? Okay.
Yeah. Certain ones are. I mean,
Okay.
for $7 a night, they can get a room on the second level where they have a little cubicle and they have a locker to put their stuff.
Okay.
And I believe that they can say, yeah, I'll be back tonight.
Right.
But the majority of them line up at 5 o'clock,
Oh.
and however many get inside, get inside.
Mhm. Mm.
I haven't been there in a winter yet, so I
Mhm.
don't know if people actually get turned away.
Right.
But, yeah. It's been an eye-opener.
Sure is. Brings home that livable wage
Mhm.
question.
Right.
First person to live on their own. It's amazing.
So I've been trying to get the director to allow me to do some of these videos there, if the gentlemen, you know, if they want to be on it.
Sure.
And the first answer that came back was no. But I need to go back and talk to them again because I can put a link to the charity that runs it, which is a Catholic Charities,
Right.
which runs this particular shelter, and by putting it out on the YouTube channel, I bet we could get people to donate
Absolutely.
with a link, so.
Yeah, you could certainly do it anonymously without showing faces.
Well, I do that here, you know, so,
I hope they change their mind.
well, yeah, I just haven't had the
Sounds like
chance.
one of those blanket policies, it's just no and.
I think they made it up when I asked, and I'm not sure that it ever got to the CEO or the director or
Right,
whatever.
yeah,
I think it was the nurse that said no,
Mhm.
because they're not getting any benefit from it,
Uh-huh.
but what if they did?
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
you're not
it's-
getting any benefit from it,
yeah.
but what if they did? What if we could get, you know, donations flowing in?
Well, what's nice is, you know, based on you doing this all the time, you can kind of suggest here's what the conditions could be under and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, really make the pitch, so.
Yeah, so I just have to go in and talk to him. I have a friend who does grant writing for nonprofits and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and he said he would go do it, but I think he's pretty busy right now. Anyway, enough about me.
Well, that's really cool. Good for you.
All right, so let's have you go back over
She
here.
doesn't have a smartphone.
Not as many people her generation know.
Right.
My mom's not a grandparent and she uses GoGo Grandparent.
Oh, so it's still going? It's still
It
going?
is, yeah.
Okay.
She turned 67 yesterday, so she's just not really into the smartphone thing.
Yeah, so they have, so when I have that conversation with my patients, I tell them it's not nearly as bad as it was 2 decades ago when you didn't have that, Uber or Lyft or,
Yep.
it all fell to the kids, but. So was it a Buick?
Of course.
Okay.
A beige Buick Century. And she bought that one new in 2001, and it only had 54,000 miles on it.
In 18 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, so,
Someone got a good deal.
yeah, it's somebody that my mom and I both know. And his son needed one, a car, so. And of course, it was spotless inside and out. And I gave him a good price on it too, so.
One happy kid.
Yep.
Well, except it is Buick.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Buick, don't write me any letters. So this looks, I can see why this would hurt to walk on. And all this dark stuff is just bleeding into the base of the callus.
Okay.
And just like when you're trimming it and you make it bleed, now
Yeah.
there's some blood vessels that are pretty close to the surface here. So I'm gonna trim as much as I can without making you bleed anymore. Are you putting any kind of lotion or anything on this?
Yeah, I have the, is it O'Keefe's
Okay.
foot, or is it just Keefe's? I think it's just Keefe's foot lotion, and I'll put that on in the mornings after I shower.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom gave me tea tree oil,
Okay.
and probably the last couple of weeks I've been putting that on there, and that seems to not really do much.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is just put a little medication on there to stop the bleeding,
Okay.
and then we'll hit it up with the sander.
Okay. Sander, sweet. Is that what that guy is?
Mm-hmm.
Does it vacuum at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So this is the Lumicane I told you about.
The lady in the waiting room was talking about your pictures
Ah,
in your office. You were on site and took every one of these, right?
yes. Alright, so that looks much better. And alright, so I want you to not do the picking for
Yep.
this week,
Yep.
and we'll just I'll get you that cream to put on there.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put a little antibiotic with a Band-Aid on there,
Okay.
and when you come back next time, when this isn't so raw, we'll hit the nail too.
Okay.
So yeah, so that should feel better for now, but we're not done.
Okay. It does look much better.
What? Say it louder?
I said it does look much better already. Yes.
Okay, the question is, does it feel better already?
Well, we'll
And
find
we'll
out
see
in a
when
bit,
you.
yeah.
Okay, so just leave this on till tomorrow,
Okay.
and this will be fine, and then we'll see you back either next week or the week after, whatever works in the schedule, and
Okay.
we'll do this all again.
Okay.
Okay?
Including the nails.
Yeah, and we'll
Yep.
do the nails.
Okay.
Okay. So you said that this has been feeling
Yes.
a little bit better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you think when you saw your video on YouTube?
That was pretty cool. I shared it to some friends and family. They didn't find it as exciting as I do, but.
Well, and you can jump on and answer questions for people too, if
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
to.
absolutely.
So it's definitely looking better. Now, here's the thing. Once we get a lot of this callus trimmed down and the skin underneath isn't quite so raw, I think there's a possibility that some of this is wart,
Oh, interesting.
just by how it looks.
Interesting.
Can't really tell just yet because of all the callus over the top
Okay.
and the fact that it bleeds pretty easily.
Okay.
But there's a lot more good pink tissue than there was last time.
Yeah.
Part of it looks just like you would expect a wart to look,
Yeah.
cluster of warts, but part of it doesn't, so I'm not gonna make a judgment call just yet. I'll let the skin kind of heal up a little bit more.
See what it tells us?
Right, so, we'll get a bunch of the callus off today, we'll have you back one more time,
Okay.
and keep using the urea cream that you're using.
Yep.
And then we should be able to see
Okay.
the healthy skin or the healthy wart underneath.
Okay.
And that was all really soft, I don't even think I need to use the sander on it.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. So round 2 out of the way, and we'll see you back in another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It is a commonality, I didn't realize
Yep,
that.
it's a very common place to get the callus. We call them, they're called pinch calluses. Just because this part of your toe gets pinched between the bone underneath and the ground when you walk.
Has nothing to do with the type of shoes?
Now, if you went barefoot all the time, you would still have these calluses.
Okay,
These particular calluses. There are some that come because of the shoe.
okay, very interesting.
Yeah. Now, you could use a pumice stone at home. You said you used to use the little blades. We call that bathroom surgery. And that's fine. I tell people if you're going to do that, as long as you can see it and reach it, that's fine. But always have some Neosporin or bacitracin or something at home, because inevitably at some point you will cut yourself.
Okay.
All right, let's do.
So much better.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the difference, if you look at this one, now that I've trimmed it down, it's mostly pink skin. When I wet this one down, the callus is mostly yellowed skin, and it's kind of translucent, and that's how you can tell what's the callus tissue versus the good skin.
So are there other places on the foot where you have pinch calluses?
Now, this is generally the one that we refer to as a pinch callus. I mean, that's just what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
All calluses just come from repeated pressure or trauma. Like, remember before computers, we all used to have pencil calluses on our third fingers?
Yes, we did.
You know? And when we were little girls, we had calluses on the palms of our hands from the bars on the playground.
Yep,
So anywhere that there's chronic friction or pressure.
gotcha.
And so this is just a spot that gets a lot of pressure when you walk.
That's very good to know, I never realized that.
Yeah. Okay, and so when I do that now, it's mostly pink skin there without the translucent yellow. And that should feel
Okay.
pretty good for your trip.
Yay, thank you so kindly, Doctor.
Thank you for letting us video.
Absolutely.